let's get to know William Izzard. We're going to start off with some rapid fire questions. What is your star sign?
Aries.
Favourite meal and who cooks it?
Dexter beef steak, my wife cooking it.
What sort of music do you like?
Classical.
When you were at school, which teen group were you in, i.e. the jocks, mean girls, alternatives, loners, nerds?
You call that a teen group? Never heard of it.
I know.
I must be 2 generations older than you. I was a football player.
Are you anti-vax?
Not at all.
Last TV show or movie you watched?
Breaking Bad.
Favourite mode of transport?
Motor transport.
Yep.
Cars and aeroplanes.
Ever been arrested?
No.
What would you consider to be a good crime to be arrested for?
There is no good crime to be arrested for.
If you were running for government, which party would you be with?
Central government, national or ACT.
Okay, on to the serious questions now. Why are you running for Mayor of Masterton?
I'm a young pensioner and my time is available. I'm always interested in local community and politics. Council has always been of central interest to me.
If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing in the region, what would it be?
Funny you should say that, because I am the wizard. I am William Izzard and I do have a wand. What would I change? The culture between the councillors, the mayor and the staff. That's where things can start going wrong with their inside agendas affecting or not taking any notice of the population who they're actually representing.
If you win the election, what issue will you make your number one priority and how do you plan to go about it?
The number one priority is to identify where the costs are all going and try and curb the unrelenting expenditure that's going on in this community, and possibly to try and curb the continuous increase in rates. Get that under control.
What is Masterton routinely lacking or neglecting that you hope to change?
Its town centre's looking old and dilapidated. We have golden shares that we need to protect to keep the place, give Masterton an identity.
What can the council do to help slow down or limit climate change?
Well, for a start, I drive 2 electric cars. Climate change, being sensible about it with council vehicles should really make sure that they're either the cleanest technology, diesel engines or electrification of buses. I'm not adverse to that. I'd like to see the trains being upgraded out of the Wairarapa and through up to the Manawatu. I think the Green Party is actually pushing that barrow end of this month in Masterton. Nitrate control and things like that, but we just have to strive to try and improve our human behaviour everywhere we look, whether it's rubbish collection, bigger picture stuff, whether we use plastics, for everything. It's a continuous growth subject that we have to be aware of and to improve our environment.
Who are the at-risk groups in Masterton and how will you help them?
At risk?
Yeah.
Typically the people at risk are people who are dependent on government handouts, their culture, their the children, the drugs, the bad drugs that come into the communities, the children becoming dysfunctional. We really have to sort that, try and help them as much as we can. I've done a lot of work in the past with helping these at-risk families with either food parcels and connection with people from within the town to make sure they're not actually forgotten about, and so they have noticed that they can be taken care of, or get them to behave in a more orderly fashion moving forward. But it's a big issue.
Where do you want to see the community event centre, and what should it include?
With respect, we're in the middle of a recession, and the country and the community is hemorrhaging with expenses, and we don't really need a $70 million civic centre. However, and I sort of question the fact that why did they actually move out of the Marsden Town Hall in the first place? I'm sure with a small cost we could actually reopen the Town Hall and utilise the building itself. And that's something that the Marsden Action Group have been promoting. The amount of money that needs to be spent to get it back in use again could be up to some debate, but it would be considerably cheaper than a civic centre. And instead of the civic centre, we should really be protecting the Golden Shares identity for the Marsden, give the swimming pool area a facelift, and even the library a facelift. It's starting to look a little bit tatty. It needs a freshen up. So there we are.
What is your stance on Three Waters, and how could council do a better job?
Stance on Three Waters. That's interesting. I'm against it. I'm against co-governance. It's racist. I personally don't mind central government putting money into infrastructure, but we don't have to give it away to a separate identity. I think some councils have been lackadaisical about some water care, whether it's sewage or stuff like that. And I hear there are cases of portaloos being used in various houses down the other eastern end of town. So is it a question of expenditure or not? I don't know. But I'm definitely against the Three Waters proposal. We can't really have much say about it because it's coming from central government. Essentially, I think all councils could get together and say no, but there's also the threat that you'll only get 10 cents in the dollar instead of 20 cents out of the dollar, or whatever the figures are, depending whether you say yes or no. But time will tell, but we will certainly be keeping firm, or I'll be keeping firm on saying no to it. There are other councillors and stuff that actually think it's okay, but they also have their own agendas. So,
what is the issue that's most important to you personally, not necessarily Masterton, and why?
The most important issue? That's a big question.
I know.
I think it's possibly the well-being of communities. It's seeing the whole community treated evenly, fairly, and have good, open, free representation. One thing I would, as a mayor, potential mayor, I would promise to have at least bi-monthly open public meetings in the town hall. And that's the only way you can really consistently get the community involved. And you turn it into a bit of an event where you might have up to, say, well, that hopefully you can sit 800 people. I'd be up there, get some good staff members up there with chalkboards and whatever, and have some entertainment and make the town feel part of, everybody feel part of the community.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say about the upcoming elections?
Well, I wonder how long it's going to be for before the councils are all amalgamated. So I'm looking forward to the next 3 years. I'm trying to attract a team of younger people, even younger than me, and I'm the young one, into council so we can prepare these younger people to take charge of the new collective councils, whether it's the Wairarapa or the Wellington region. They'll still need young minds that are familiar with council issues to be in place.